Guys, I love XCOM. And if you already saw my XCOM-like games that are out right now, then you already know that. Since that video did so well, seriously, check it out if you haven't already, I decided to give you even more XCOM-like games that are out right now. These are not exact copies of XCOM. They do, however, have a few similarities. Now, in no particular order, let's begin. Okay, he's got poisoned, but it doesn't matter because this guy's dead. Yep, there we go. Wartales has been compared to Battlebus as a 3D alternative that's also less painfully difficult. Kinda, sorta, not really. However, it's not as similar to Battlebus as it may first appear. Wartales is published by Shiro Unlimited and developed by Shiro Games. Still in early access. I normally don't recommend early access games, but it's so good I think it deserves a mention. Wartales is a mercenary company building simulator that lets you go on quests, raid tombs, fight powerful bounties, take prisoners, and of course, trade. On the world map, you have to decide things like where and when to set up camp, paying your mercs, what places to go to, what items to buy, what battles to take on, and much more. If you like Battle Brothers, you might like this. It has a great deal more RPG elements in it. For example, party member relationships and dungeon exploration. I would recommend this to people who like Battle Brothers and are interested in more RPG elements and the 3D graphic style. You know what's better than a band of mercenaries? A band of mercenaries and mechs. This is Battletech. Published by Paradox Interactive and developed by Harebrained Schemes. Battletech is a game about building your own giant mech mercenary company. The story revolves around a war for secession in a remote part of the Battletech universe. This relatively small conflict quickly grows in scale, adding bigger and more prominent factions. Watching a mech scrum getting smashed is intense. In this game, you get involved in various conflicts, negotiating contracts, designing mechs, and upgrading your ship. I do think that things like mission difficulty could have been better signposted and how to build your mechs properly. Sadly, it looks like there will be no more support for this game by the developer, but we do have excellent mods like Rogue Tech. I haven't played Rogue Tech myself, but I hear nothing but great things. I will recommend this to people who are into the Battletech universe and turn-based games. Also for people who like watching giant robots fight. They want you dead, man. Look at what they shot at you. What's that you say? You want more giant mechs? Alright then. Here's Phantom Brigade. Both published and developed by Brace Yourself Games, Phantom Brigade is a mech tactical game about liberating a country. Outside of that, there isn't much story for this, as the story is told through random or procedural events. Having no story or major goal outside of paint the map your color can be positive or a negative. It all depends on you, but one thing is for sure, the battles are cool. With explosions, beams, and other effects being dramatically created by the game's engine, the turn-based gameplay is implemented a bit differently, as it is paused and you can plan out your movements for your mechs for the next 5 seconds. You can even replay the previous turn, but sadly, not the whole battle. This game made a lot of promises, even before early access, like a Shadow of Mordor Nemesis system and pilot progression, none of which was implemented. The developers might be putting them in later depending on the game's success, but none of that changes what we were promised versus what we were given. If you are interested in more, I would suggest my Let's Play series that is currently happening on my channel. I would recommend this game to people who don't mind a more anime style to mech combat. Turns out the Gears of War games are just as much fun as a turn-based tactical game. Gears Tactics is published by Xbox Game Studio and developed by Coalition Games and Splash Damage. This game is set in a world where the Earth is invaded from down below instead of from the skies like XCOM. They are called the Locusts. The human race is nearly completely overrun, with the exception of a few pockets of resistance remaining. The turn-based gameplay is similar to XCOM, however. There are changes to the combat that make it more intense. The execution mechanics add a much-needed cool factor to the game. You have 3 action points instead of 2, and you can shoot and move in any order without ending your turn. This makes combat far more flexible than XCOM. The campaign map or geoscape isn't there, instead a home screen for customization, leveling up, and picking the next mission. You can pick up loot boxes from the battlefield that you can use here as well, giving more of a scavenger feel to the game. I would recommend this to people who are new to the turn-based tactical game genre, as it has great presentation that makes it far more attractive to a wider audience with direct and engaging gameplay. Speaking of attracting a new audience, why not subscribe to my channel? It's easy and free to do, plus providing you with great content. Thank you. The hidden gem of hidden gems. The turn-based, cyberpunk, and stealth game known as Invisible Ink. Invisible Ink is both published and developed by Clay Entertainment. This game is such a unique and fun game. It boggles the mind as to why it's not more well known. In this game, a team of futuristic thieves called Invisible Ink robs from the various corporations to enrich themselves. Their operations are discovered, and pretty soon they are on the run after losing everything. In order to save themselves, they have to cobble together whatever they can to do a big job that will restore Incognita, the group's hacking AI. With it, they can rebuild. After each turn in the mission, the alert level goes up by 1, and once it reaches a high enough alert level, you then have to deal with a new threat such as cameras or new guards. The tension rises at each alarm level, forcing you to make every move more calculated than the last. The game gives you the tools for success in various forms, such as the ability to hack cameras, move to cover, or stun enemies. On the campaign map, you can choose missions, sell items, and use the cash to upgrade your agents. But be careful, you have a time limit and you have worldwide security escalating based on your progress. I would recommend this to people who wanted to lead a cyberpunk-inspired heist team.
Get us out of here.
While these games do have things in common with XCOM, they are all largely different from XCOM. I wanted to shine a spotlight on these great titles that may have been overlooked. If you want to make suggestions for other XCOM-like games to be featured, then go ahead and post them in the comments section. Also, if you liked this video, then be sure to leave a like. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Take care. So long.